Hello everybody and welcome back to another marvelous math movie. Today we're going to be talking about percents and decimals. This is the second section of chapter number 4. It starts on page 156. Let's jump right in and get started. Today's objective is going to be writing percents as decimals. Last time, you may recall, we took our percents and we wrote them into fractions by placing the percent over 100 and then reducing, right? Remember doing this? And then we would divide by 5 and we would get 7 over 20. Well, today we're going to change this percent and we're going to learn how to make it into a decimal point and not a fraction. And so what we're going to be doing, how to do that is we're going to remove the percent symbol. We're going to take it away. And then we're going to divide by 100. Or the simple way that I like to do it is you're just going to move the decimal point 2 places to the left. If you can remember that, you'll be golden. You could see that what I've done here is I've taken this, I turned it into a decimal point, and then I moved it 2 places to the left, and that is 35% written as a decimal. Here are some examples. So here we're asked to write 52% as a decimal, and you could take away the percent sign, and you could write 52 and divide it by 100 if you wanted to. And 100 doesn't go into 52, so you add the decimal, you put it up top, add the 0. 100 goes into 520 5 times. 5 times 100 is 500. Then you're going to subtract, and 520 minus 500 is 20. You add a 0, bring it down. How many times does 100 go into 200? That is going to be 2 times. 100 times 2 is 200, and so our answer is 0.52. The other way that you could do this, and I would pay attention here because this is the way that I would like to do it, is first thing I just turn that that percentage sign into a decimal point, and then I move that decimal point 2 places to the left. So my answer would be 0.52, and that is going to be 52% as a decimal. Here's another example. You could do it either way you want to do it. I'm going to do it the first way, or the second way that I showed you. I'm going to turn that percent sign into a decimal, and then I'm going to move it 2 places to the left. And I'm going to fill it in with a 0 there because I have a blank spot. And so 7% written as a decimal is going to be 0.07. Here's one for you to try on your own. Pause it here. It probably won't take you very long, but I'll give you some time to do it. All right. First thing I would do is I would turn that percentage sign into a decimal. And then I would move it 2 places to the left, and so you would get 0.24. Here's another one for you to try. Write 3% as a decimal. I will wait for you. Give you a couple of seconds. All right. Remember step 1. Is to turn that decimal, I keep saying the wrong thing, I'm sorry. The first thing is to change that percentage sign into a decimal. And then the second thing is to move it 2 places to the left, fill it in with a 0, and so your answer is going to be 0.03. This one is on your own. It's a little bit different. See what you can find here. Just follow the same steps. All right. We have 107%. Let's do the same steps that we had. Let's write this as a decimal. First thing, let's turn that percent into a decimal. Second, let's move it 2 places only. Always only move it 2 places. And so 107% as a decimal is 1.07. What we're doing now is we're changing, when we have a decimal, let's say 0.47, and we want to change that into a percent. So we're going the opposite way. Instead of a percent to a decimal, now we're going from a decimal to a percent. So what we need to be mindful of is we're doing the opposite. We're either, the 2 ways you could do this is you can either multiply by 100 or do the opposite and move your decimal point 2 places to the right and add the percent sign. So if we have 0.47, we could multiply by 100, and we would get 0 times 7 is 0, 0 times 4 is 0. Put your 0 there. We put 0 times 7 is 0, 0 times 4 is 0, right? Now we need 2 zeros. Now we're going to multiply by 1, and we're going to get 47. And then we were going to add that all together, and we would get 0, 0, 7, 4. And we would need 2, remember this? We would need 2 numbers behind our decimal point because there's 2 numbers in our factors. So we'd put our decimal point right there, and then we would just add a percent sign. So 47%. The other way that you could change this decimal into a percent is move it 2 places to the right and then add a percent sign. So we could do 47%. Either way will get you where you need to go. So let's try 0.663 as a percent. We have 0.663, and we need to write this as a percent because right now it's in a decimal. So I'm going to take the decimal point, and I'm going to move it 2 places to the right, in between the 6 and the 3. And then I'm going to add my percent sign, and then I'm done. So 0.663 as a percent is 66.3. Here's a couple for you to try on your own: 0.94, 1.2, and 0.005. Try turning each of those decimals into a percent using the steps that we just went over. All right, let's try number 1, 0.94. Move your decimal point 2 places, then add a percent sign, and we get 94%. The second one, move your decimal point 2 places, put a 0 in there because there's a missing spot, and you get 120, and then we're going to add our percent sign. The third one, same thing, move it 2 places, we get 0.5, and let's add our percent sign. Well, that brings us to the end of our second section of Chapter 4, Percents and Decimals, which started on page 156. Hopefully it wasn't too difficult. Just remember that when you're turning a decimal into a percent, that you're going to move the decimal point 2 places to the right and add your percent sign. And when you're taking a percent and changing it into a decimal, you're going to take that percent sign and you're going to move it 2 times to the left. Not too hard of a concept to understand. I want to encourage you, though, to ask questions if you don't understand it. I want to encourage you to check out the practice problems and to check your answers. The answers should be up on the website so that you have access to them. And follow through with those things, and no doubt you'll get an excellent grade on your assignment and on your test. Our joke for today is, what do you call a number that won't sit still? The answer is a Roman numeral. I want to thank you for checking in today. I hope you guys have a great night. And remember, as always, that you are special and that God loves you. We'll see you soon.